You won't believe what's going on out there. It's beyond anything we've ever imagined.
No, seriously, what I'm about to tell you will make you question everything you thought you knew about the future. The reality we're heading towards, it's unlike anything we've seen before, and it's happening now, as we speak. I'm talking about something that's been in the works for years, but only now are we starting to see the real implications. The technology level of intelligence being developed, it's not just a step forward, it's a whole leap into a new era. I mean, we're on the cusp of creating something that could fundamentally alter the way we live, the way we work, and the very fabric of our society.
But it's not all smooth sailing. We're facing challenges that no one could have predicted. And honestly, there are days when I think, is this even possible?
Yet every breakthrough, every new piece of the puzzle that falls into place pushes us closer to that vision. And believe me, that vision is worth the struggle. The potential is astronomical. And it's not just about space anymore. It's about reshaping humanity itself. The first time I realized the true scope of what we were building was when I saw the prototypes for what would eventually become the Tesla autonomous vehicles. You might think, oh, they're just cars that drive themselves, but it's far more profound than that. These vehicles, these machines, they're designed to think, adapt, learn. Imagine a world where you can get into a car, tell it where you want to go, and never have to touch the wheel again. A world where the danger of human error, the distractions, the tiredness, the mistakes can be eradicated. It's a vision that most people didn't think was possible until we started making it happen.
That was just the beginning, a stepping stone, if you will, to something much bigger. What I've seen happening in artificial intelligence, in neural networks, in machine learning, it's mind-blowing.
We're creating systems that can think on their own, systems that can predict outcomes, make decisions, even create art or music, just like humans do. But here's the kicker. These systems are only going to get better. They'll evolve faster than we can keep up with. They'll learn from us, yes, but also from each other. They'll be self-replicating, self-improving, and when that happens well, you can only imagine the possibilities. At the same time, we're facing a unique opportunity. As humans, we've always been limited by our biology. Our brains, incredible as they are, have constraints. But what if we could bypass those constraints? What if we could create neural interfaces, brain-machine connections that would allow us to communicate directly with machines? I'm not talking about just typing on a keyboard or swiping on a screen. I'm talking about thought-to-thought communication, brain-to-machine interaction that could change how we work, how we think, and how we connect with the world around us.
We've already made significant strides in this area. Neuralink is working on developing brain-machine interfaces that could treat brain diseases, restore lost sensory functions, and even enhance human capabilities beyond what's natural.
Imagine a world where you could upload information directly into your brain, a world where knowledge and learning are no longer limited by your ability to process information. Imagine a world where you can control your environment with just a thought. That's the future we're building, and the implications are both exciting and terrifying. But with great power comes great responsibility. As we push forward, there are critical ethical questions we need to address. What happens when machines become more intelligent than humans? When they surpass us in every way, in every field of expertise, will we lose control? Or will we learn to coexist with these super intelligent systems? I can't say I have all the answers, but I do know that we need to think carefully about the direction we're heading in. The question of AI and its implications is something I've spent a lot of time thinking about. The risks are real. It's not just science fiction anymore. It's a matter of when, not if. And the truth is, we're not quite prepared for the full scope of what's coming. We need to be proactive. We need to regulate. We need to have conversations about how we use this technology in a responsible way. But at the same time, we can't allow fear to paralyze us. The potential to improve the human condition is enormous, and we have to be willing to take those risks. If we don't, someone else will.
And don't even get me started on Mars. Yes, the colonization of other planets is still part of the plan, I know. People often say it's a pipe dream, that it's too ambitious, too unrealistic.
But let me tell you this, when you're building something that hasn't been done before, that's the very definition of ambition. When we started SpaceX, people told us we were crazy, that private companies couldn't go to space. Yet here we are, not just sending rockets into orbit, but landing them back on Earth, reusing them, making space travel more affordable. And it's just the beginning. Mars isn't just a place to visit, it's a place to build a future. The idea of creating a self-sustaining colony on another planet is one of the most audacious goals humanity has ever set, and I think it's possible. In fact, I believe it's crucial for the long-term survival of our species. Earth is incredible, but we need to spread out, diversify, and prepare for the inevitable challenges that may come. Climate change, resource depletion, even potential existential threats, we need a backup plan. And Mars is the best candidate we have.
We've got the technology to get there. It's not going to be easy, but it's possible. We're developing the Starship, a spacecraft capable of carrying humans to Mars, and I believe we'll be launching crewed missions within the next decade.
And after that, it's not just about landing. We're talking about building infrastructure, creating habitats, and eventually establishing a self-sustaining colony. It's a daunting task, but one that's worth pursuing. After all, what's the alternative? But let's be clear, all of this, everything we're doing, it's not just about tech for tech's sake, it's about something bigger. It's about improving the human experience. It's about expanding our horizons, creating new possibilities, and ensuring that we don't stagnate in this tiny corner of the universe. Our mission isn't just to survive, it's to thrive. So when you look at all these technologies, all these advances, it can be easy to get overwhelmed. It can feel like we're pushing the boundaries of what's possible so fast that we're not even sure where the edge is anymore. But that's the point. We don't know what the future holds, but we do know that we're shaping it. And what we do today will determine what the world looks like tomorrow. So let's make it count. This isn't just about the next 5 years or even the next 50 years. It's about the next 1,000, the next million. We're laying the groundwork for a future that will outlive us all. A future that our grandchildren and their grandchildren will inherit. A future that's brighter, smarter, and more connected than anything we could have imagined when we first started this journey. And trust me, this is just the beginning.
The future as it stands is a vast expanse filled with both unprecedented opportunities and dangers that we can't fully comprehend. As we stand on the precipice of all these advancements,
Neural interfaces, there's a question that looms over it all. What comes next? It's not just a question of technology, it's a question of humanity. We're making decisions today that will echo across generations. And while the potential is exhilarating, the risks are very real. There's a tipping point we could reach where we as humans are no longer the dominant force in shaping our world. Machines could surpass us in ways that we can't even predict. The very systems we've built to improve our lives could, in the wrong hands, be turned against us. But I refuse to believe that's the only path forward. I believe in the human spirit, in our capacity for innovation, and our ability to make the right choices if we act now. If we don't let fear paralyze us, but instead use our collective wisdom and creativity to guide us. Look, some days the challenges seem insurmountable. The technical hurdles, the ethical dilemmas, the uncertainty about where all of this is headed, it's enough to make anyone question whether we're moving too fast. But then I remind myself of the first days of SpaceX when the odds were against us, when failure seemed like a certainty, but we pressed on anyway. Every step forward was a risk. Every new venture was an unknown. Yet somehow we're here, we're not stopping.
so what comes next? That's up to us. The choices we make now will shape not just our lives, but the very future of humanity.
The question isn't whether we can make it to Mars or whether AI can surpass human intelligence. It's whether we can guide these technologies in a way that enhances our values, preserves what makes us human, and pushes us to grow in ways we never thought possible. The future is not a certainty, but it's ours to shape. And I believe we're more than capable of creating something extraordinary. It's a journey we all need to be a part of, a journey towards something greater than ourselves, something that transcends the limits of what we know. Where it leads, no one can say. But if we continue to ask the right questions, take the right risks, and remain open to the possibilities, there's no telling just how far we can go. And in the end, that's what makes it all worth it. Not knowing what's next, but having the courage to find out